Welcome to Influencers Unfiltered. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Influencers Unfiltered, where we go behind the scenes with influencers. I'm your host, Michelle Noor, and today we have an amazing guest, Samina, joining us to discuss the delicate art of balancing your personal life and securing those sought-after brand deals. Welcome, Samina. How are you today?
Thank you, Michelle. First of all, thanks a lot for having me here. It's a wonderful opportunity and I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're so happy to have you and hear all about your journey. So let's dive right in. Could you share a little bit about how you started as an influencer and how you see your public persona being different from you or your personal side? So just tell us a little bit about who you are as an influencer and how you started.
Sure. So it was very impromptu. It was suggested by one of my friends. They used to compliment me on my styling, whenever I used to dress up for work or for any outing. And they suggested me, why don't you start blogging about it? Because you have a
Mm-hmm.
good style.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it all started with. That was the first moment when I, thought about having an account on Instagram. And it's almost around 3 years now.
Wow.
So I've been blogging. First year was all about understanding because I was not from this field. So it was completely new thing for me to understand how it works, how to
Yeah.
post, how to, make a reel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it took me one year around to understand the entire process and to, uh, everything about the entire social media thing. And that's how it all started. And regarding being different, so I would say it's a glimpse of my life
Mm-hmm.
because I am a mother. I have two children. So I am married. So this page, my niche is on styling, fashion, styling, beauty. So this is a part of it, and it's a glimpse of my life where one aspect of my life is shown on Instagram for that purpose. But there are other parts of my life, right, where I'm a wife, where I'm helping out my husband, where I have two kids, I'm making their lunch boxes, I'm
Yeah.
dropping them,
Yeah.
helping them with their homework and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like any other, married woman. So yeah, these part it that is, I think that's the difference. You won't see me
Yeah.
doing all that on Instagram. Yeah.
No, I definitely have to say, I love your sense of fashion. I love your styling. You definitely have a very unique eye when it comes to styling different pieces, and the professionalism and like the fashionista in yourself definitely shows in all your posts. So that's why I'm such
Thank
a
you
huge
so
fan.
much. Thank you, Michelle. Means a lot.
No, I definitely am a fan. And like sometimes I look at the way like you style a blazer with like a satin skirt and I'm like, that's such a good idea. And I save it. I'm like, I'm gonna do that because that looks so good. So definitely you are inspirational. You are an influencer. By no means, like I understand that it takes a long time to get into it. For me, it's been almost 7 years now that I've been in this, and it's not an overnight thing, as you mentioned. And when you have so many other responsibilities and things that are happening in your life, you have to find that balance. And that's why the reason I wanted to discuss this topic on today's episode is because I think I was genuinely better at managing my personal and influencer life before than I am now. I feel like it's the added pressure, bigger followers, more brand deals, et cetera, that adds a lot of pressure. And I find myself that I'm staying up 24/7, writing emails, editing videos, anything related to social media, and I don't really turn it off, which truly leads to a
Right.
burnout. You guys can catch our previous episode on burnout if you haven't already. But personal life is very important to maintain and find that balance with work. And that's how you stay happier. I feel like when I can juggle both and not pour all of my energy on one side or the other,
Exactly.
that's how you kind of find a balance in that. But I do want to hear from you though. That's why I wanted to bring you as a guest, because you have this very unique perspective that I know a lot of other mom influencers or just women who have other responsibilities can relate to, that have to wake up and make lunches for their kids and then pick them at that 3 o'clock or something, and you can't really have a normal schedule like someone like me who is not a mom, who's not married, who kind of lives my life on my own means. So that's why I wanted to bring your perspective and want to hear from you. You have an impressive journey on social media. You are
Thank
averaging over
you.
10,000 followers, which is amazing, and you work with amazing fashion brands all over Canada. I'm wondering, how do you juggle your life and your work and continue to get your brand deals and work through it?
So, Michelle, it's like definitely initially I was honestly I was juggling and I was not able to understand how to manage
Yeah.
my time and all that. But it took me some time to understand and to plan my things, and now I carve out time for making content
Mhm.
accordingly so that I have time for my personal life as well as for making content. Also, I would say my family supports a lot, so
Yeah.
sometimes they are also involved in parts of it when I'm setting it up or
Which
when
is so important.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and then we are having fun during the process also.
Hmm.
Sometimes it becomes a part of it,
Yeah.
part of your life also. So
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like that you're doing something extra or you're
Mhm.
doing something different and you need to completely shut from your personal life to do that.
Yeah.
So, in that respect, I'm blessed and grateful. I would say I'm blessed with a very beautiful family. My husband, my children, all of them, they support me a lot. They help me a lot.
Yeah.
So it becomes easier. So yes, we need planning. It has to be a balance, I would say. You need to plan also, and then you don't have to pressurize yourself, that you have to do. So sometimes you need to take it light also. You need to understand that it can be days where you might not be able to make a content, or where you might create and it's something, doesn't come out properly. Those
Mhm.
are the days also, right? You
Yeah.
shoot
Yeah.
and gloomy days and all that stuff also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you need to accept all that. So that's
Especially
how
like
I am
during this
working.
weather where it's gloomy all the time.
Exactly.
I get
Winters are
it.
terrible
I hear you.
in Toronto here. Yes.
I
So
hear
yeah.
you. No, definitely. Like, I just adding on to that, what you mentioned, that definitely having a support system is very, very helpful. And I'm really grateful. And I feel like influencers that have that support system from their family or friends are, like, thriving in this industry and having an easier time with it, because everyone around you kind of, helps you with your content, whether it's your
Exactly.
husband, your boyfriend, your sister, mother, whatever. And it's fun. You're right, it becomes fun. Like, I recently took my mom to a L'Oreal event with me. She had a blast. She had
I
never
saw that.
experienced
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
I saw
And she's
that.
like,
And it
I
is
don't know what this world is, but she had a blast. She ate, we, drank our mocktails and just chatted and had girls' time. And, this is something that is unique, and this industry is very, very different. So I feel like it brings a lot of fun opportunities for our family and friends around us. So I also wanted to ask you that, yeah, sometimes, the support and everything's great, but you also get like family commitments that you have to like go to your in-laws or whatever. Like, there's always something that comes up. And there's also your responsibilities as an influencer. Like, you have to put out brand deals, or you have to post 3 to 4 times a week or whatever. It can become very overwhelming. So I just wanted to ask you, can you share some practical tips on how you've successfully integrated these two different aspects of your life when you do have commitments and you have a brand deal? Like, how do you manage both at the same time?
Yeah, so initially I was not, I would say, like when I was in a learning phase, I used to shoot, post, and then start thinking about what to shoot next, right? But
Yeah.
now I
Hmm.
have a pre-planned calendar. I try to plan my content well ahead in time for the
Yeah.
entire month. If any events are coming, if any like suppose any festivals are coming, so what kind of content I need to prepare, then I need to prepare the outfits. Mood
Hmm.
boards are created well advance, so I
Okay.
need to create the mood boards also well in advance, and then I plan my shoots so that I can I can shoot for at least a week content
Yeah.
over a week, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because I weekdays I won't have time, or I won't have that much of time to shoot. So that's how I plan. Like
Yeah.
I try to do that so that I don't have to worry during the weekdays, like,
Hmm.
today I'm not able to post, what to do, and then I'm panicking at the last
Yeah.
minute. So
Yeah.
that's something I do, and that's what I would advise. It becomes easier if you slightly plan your content.
Yeah.
And from your page perspective also, I think it becomes very good because you don't have to, you have something, you have a vision for your page, like what kind of content you are planning to put on your page, right?
Yeah.
So on your feed. So yeah, so that's how I do that.
No, that's very amazing that you do it that way because that's definitely the best way to go about it. When you batch your content, obviously you're not going to be like getting up, getting ready, putting on makeup every single day and shooting
Exactly.
content. That's unrealistic. It burns you out. And there was a time where I
Exactly.
used to do that and I was like, I hate this. Like, I can't keep this up. It's taking a toll on me. So it's easier. Like, even now, today was like my batch content day. I got all my videos done, edited it. Now I have the podcast. And to after today, like I have an event later on today, and once all that is done, I can unwind for the rest of the week, spend time with my family, spend time with my friends,
Exactly.
and this way
Yes.
you can juggle both. And another tip, this is a personal tip from me, is the reminders app on your iPhone. That is very, very useful because I kind of divide it into days of the week. And based on the days of the week, I will set different reminders with the date, with an alarm, with a reminder. And then this way I'm up to date on my brand deals, on my events, on things I need to do throughout the day. And it's just so satisfying checking each one off. And
Oh
this way,
yes,
yeah,
for sure,
you are
for
so
sure. I
you're
do
so
that for events.
organized.
Yeah, I I
Yeah.
do that because you have so many events or any, deadline for a brand deal which you need to, fulfill. So you can't manage it all remembering it. So you need to put it in your calendar. You need to put a reminder so that you are aware what to, post and what to shoot. So that is for sure very important.
Yeah, and I love your perspective on this because it's so refreshing since you are a mom. You have more responsibility than anyone else. Trust me, I know my mom juggles so much all at once, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it. So it's even more impressive to see like someone in the influencer space, especially the fashion space, which is so competitive, probably the most competitive, and thriving and doing really well. So I'm glad that you're bringing in your perspective. Another topic I want to discuss with you is like, how do you communicate and maintain boundaries with your loved ones? Like, for example, when you have an event or you're filming videos and like your kids are bothering you and they're like, oh, like mommy, give us time, or your husband needs something or whatever it is. Like, how do you create that boundary between your work and your personal life, since we are constantly working from home and you don't really
Right,
get that office space where you can just go to and do it and then come back? So I just wonder, like,
right.
how does it work for you?
So, I would say like I try to shoot because I am deliberate in what I am putting on my page because it's technology is well advanced as we know, right?
Yeah.
Social media is, so we should be aware of what we are posting.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, I plan, but when I'm planning, like since I am a mother, I have two kids, so I need to plan according to their schedule as well, right?
Yeah.
I can't just plan my day out because
Yeah.
I have other responsibilities during the
Mm-hmm.
day as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, if suppose I have to record something, definitely my kids don't have to be around at that time. So I plan when they are in school.
Yeah.
I try to, record something if it has my audio or anything when they are not there at home.
Yeah.
So that's how I do. So for the shoot also, so that's what, like, it involves some certain kind of planning, and sometimes it doesn't happen as per your planning also. Like suppose what I planned and then kids are like, no mama, I need you, or
Yeah.
I want you to be there, and they are not ready, they are saying that you need to come with me. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, yeah, as a mother we have to, and then I'm like, okay, that's okay, I'll just leave it and then go with them.
Yeah.
So sometimes these things do happen, and I feel this Instagram is something, this thing is something which I do because I feel satisfied in my life when I am able to deliver one piece of content as per my
Yeah.
thoughts, right? So
Yeah.
if you are able to deliver, you feel certain kind of satisfaction for
Yeah.
yourself also. It's not just about reels or the views on your reels. It's not every time about that.
Yeah.
So it's some kind of content or satisfaction that gives you personally, that you are delivering a piece of creative content. That's it.
Yeah.
So that also brings a certain kind of happiness or satisfaction in you, right? And which I feel is very important for me.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I started is because I feel satisfied.
Yeah.
I feel happy if I'm able to, create something nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it's going. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how I'm trying to. Let's see.
No,
Let's see
that's
how it
amazing
goes in
because I
future.
get a lot of like influencers who are moms constantly in my DMs saying, I also mentioned quite a few of these tips in my ebook on how to manage with a full-time job, or if you're a mom and
Mm,
this is possible. Definitely it's a little bit harder and requires a lot more planning than versus someone like me who don't have that many responsibilities.
exactly.
But that's why like it's so important to have someone with your experience and your situation to shed light on this issue, and bring some motivation to those moms who are getting really really tired of taking care of the house, and then they don't have the energy to get dressed up and go out and shoot content. So definitely planning is essential, and with planning you can get a lot more done and you can be super productive. And that's how even if you're not a mom or whatever, you if you plan out your day and batch it in different like areas,
And
you will
yeah,
you will be
and
successful no matter what you do. It doesn't need to be influencing. It can be anything if you're just organized. And that's very interesting that you do it when your kids are at school, because that's literally the perfect time to do it. As even though like most moms after they drop their kids to school are so tired, they go right back to sleep and then they go wake up for pickup time. So I really like appreciate your discipline, and it's really really great to hear. So let's talk a little bit more about brand deals in this
sure.
industry. Do you have any
Mhm.
tips for influencers who are looking to collaborate with brands authentically? Feel free to share any stories about deals that you've accepted or even rejected. How does it work for you?
Sure. So with brand deals, like I still remember the first time I used to reach out my fellow bloggers, and I would see, I would like to say that I would like to thank many of the bloggers here, including you. Like I've tried to DM the bloggers, like please help me or please advise me how to move ahead when I was new, and all of them, thankfully, I would say I'm very grateful, and people are kind enough to guide you or tell you what to do next.
Mhm.
Now, I think this year has been a good year for me. I have received quite a few brand deals.
Yeah.
So, in my experience, I feel what you need is you need to continue, you need to keep pitching for yourself.
Yeah.
You need to keep showcase your work.
Hmm.
So, that's very important in the world of social media.
Yeah.
So, few tips for people who are looking for brand deals are continuously sending DMs, approaching the brands
Hmm.
either via DMs
Hmm.
or email pitch. Send them your media kit, prepare your media kit well in advance so that you are prepared when you are approaching any brand, so
Yeah.
that you can showcase what kind of work you have done.
Hmm.
And before even going there, I would like to say that's what I did. I created a base kind of thing on my page, like my page, because whenever if you are approaching any brand, they would like to go over your page to see your work, right? So it
Hmm.
should be presentable, it should be with respect. So you have to start thinking from the brand perspective, from the product, not from like I am looking good or I am looking beautiful doesn't work for the brand, right? So if you are promoting a product, you have to start thinking if that product is looking good or not, right? So those kind of things you have to start thinking from that perspective. You have to pitch yourself, prepare a media kit, prepare your page, and then start approaching them. And this is a continuous process, trust me. I think every day the amount of time we as bloggers, all of us, like are giving in creating content, I think the same or more we need to give in pitching for yourself also, because it's a very competitive industry, right? So you need to come in contact with these people so that they can see your work, right? And whenever you are creating any content, please tag all the brands you can. Don't leave, don't everything, whatever you are, if you are from fashion industry, tag all the brands you're wearing, everything, so that brands can notice. Brands do notice your work.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel. Like I think they are watching. You need to continuously keep working on it. That's it.
Yeah.
And one incident I would like to share, like sometimes it becomes repetitive, or I don't know, because sometimes you don't have to feel demotivated. You might DM and somebody might not respond to you, right?
Yeah.
So then again, you have to try. You have to basically keep trying, is what I feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel, oh my God, am I pushing too much, or am I disturbing that person?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So these things might happen, but yeah, that's our job. If you have to, then you have to push yourself, right?
Yeah, no,
So,
honestly, I could not agree more with everything that you said. This is literally all that my ebook is about. I mentioned exactly like how the importance of pitching yourself and the importance of making yourself look appealing to the brand is crucial. Like if you want to make
agree.
any money on this platform, you have to present yourself in a way where you're professional, where someone looks at your content and they're like, yes, I would want this person to promote me because of the quality of her content. And the pitching and the negotiating, definitely like have a set template. I have some in my ebook
Yeah,
that, a lot of influencers use, and they get brand deals that way. Once you have that like perfected template and your perfected media kit, you can send it out 100 times if you have to. It doesn't matter.
exactly.
There's so many
Yes.
influencers reaching out to them now.
Hmm.
Like, I used to do a lot of my pitching. Recently I got a manager, and a social media agency kind of manages all my
Okay.
pitching now. But
Hmm.
for most of my influencing career, I have done it myself. I would set aside like 2-3 hours, and I would pitch to all the brands I wanted, no matter how crazy it was, whether it was Sephora or a small business. It didn't matter. Like, keep pitching yourself, because
Right.
you don't know if they're looking for someone like you, and they wouldn't know unless you tag them in all your posts. If you genuinely love the product and you keep showing it on your page, the brand will pick it up, and the brand will be like, okay, this person is genuinely liking our product, so this is a person we should pick. Instead of like going to a brand and being like, yeah, I've never tried your product, but like, pay me $5,000 for a reel. So it's more authentic. You build a more authentic relationships with brands when you continuously tag them, when you continuously pitch yourself. And what Samina said is absolutely perfection. Like, that's exactly how you approach it, and that's exactly how you grow in this industry and get brand deals. I know it can become a little bit exhausting, getting rejection after rejection, and in the beginning that happens a lot. But
Yeah,
once yeah
yes.
once you get your rhythm, and once you get kind of good at exactly how to talk to a brand and exactly get what you want, even turning a gifted collab into a paid collab, it's possible. You
Yeah,
just got to keep doing
exactly.
it. And I know, because Sabina's a mom and other people have full-time jobs, it's easier if you set like a time of day or a time of week aside and just pitch yourself. I always suggest doing it on the weekend, because then it's first thing in their inbox on Monday. So always do it on the weekend. That's like a pro tip I'll give you. On Sundays or on Saturdays, so then they see it right away, and they get, even if they get back to you throughout the rest of the week, like, it's in their inbox somewhere. So definitely, like, I absolutely love what you said, and what you mentioned about having good quality content. I just want to like ask you, like, how do you prioritize quality over quantity? Because sometimes we want to put out so much content just to
Hmm.
get the
Hmm.
algorithm going and get more views or whatever, but sometimes it's more about quality. Some people resonate with you better because their your quality is just different than someone else. You could post 100 times, but if your quality isn't good, like, it doesn't really matter. So how do you prioritize quality over quantity when it comes to brand partnerships and getting and like pitching
Uh,
yourself in that terms?
So for any brand collaboration, quality is definitely one aspect I'm very much, conscious about.
Mm-hmm.
I want the content to come out very perfect.
Yeah.
So quality is very important in that respect. But overall, I feel in this social media, it has to be a balance also.
Mm-hmm.
Because initially, I remember I used to take hours just to, complete a content. And like if I'm not satisfied, I used to feel I'll reshoot, and I was not posting that content, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So a few days I was just not posting anything.
Yeah.
So, but then I realized and then I understood. So there has to be a balance, definitely, for Instagram,
Yeah.
and the logic is not that straightforward, as we know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not something only one thing they are looking for. It has to be a balance. There are multiple factors which are involved in the growth of an influencer or a
100%.
blogger.
100%.
So you have to take care of all of them. It should not be that, okay, I'm focused only on quality, then I will wait for 10 days also or 15 days also
Yeah.
and not post anything. Then you are gone from there.
Yeah.
So it has to be a balance for sure. Quality and quantity both are important
Yeah.
for you to grow on this platform, I would
Yeah.
say. But quality in terms of brands, if you're asking, I would say, yes, you need to understand what that brand is looking
Mm-hmm.
for, because once you have a good relationship with the brand and if they like your content, you have the possibility of, going for the collaboration again.
Yeah.
So always take these things, give your best in the brand collab, I would say, so that, you can maintain a good relationship with the brand and you can have, a long-term relationship with
Yeah.
them, I would
Yeah,
say.
100%. Just like piggybacking off of what you already said, like, do you think the public persona
Mm.
that you have and the image that you've created, you mentioned like it's a part of your life, it's not your entire life. Um, do you think
Exactly.
like that has helped you secure more brand deals because of the persona that you've made? Or maybe like, do you think you would have gotten the same deals if you were you all the time, 100%? You were just putting out your entire life out there. So do you think like influencers do need to curate kind of a public persona? Or are you more for like, I know you don't do it, but like what is your perspective? Like if you were you all the time, like
I am deliberate. I would be honest
yeah,
here. I am deliberate about what I am putting because I can't put my 24/7
yeah.
life on social
Mm-hmm.
media. That's what, but I think it's each to its own,
Yeah.
basically, what they believe in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is what I believe in. And from because I feel my page, the niche of my page is fashion and styling.
Yeah.
That's the main theme which I am building my page on, and I try to focus on that content itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if the page is about motherhood, then definitely mothers are posting content for kids, and definitely, so it depends on what kind of
Yeah.
content you are posting, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are, I think if for me, it was more on fashion and styling. So I feel if I am posting related content, so I don't think so. Brand would definitely want me to, showcase my motherly side or other side of my life, which I am involved
Mm-hmm.
in. So yeah, that's what I feel.
Yeah.
But it depends on what kind of content. If you are a travel blogger or a travel influencer, then definitely you will be showing your traveling ends of your side also. So, but yes, one thing I feel is your audience relates a lot if you talk to them or you show some inner side also of your life, not always on the, just picture perfect or something like that. So you need to show your real side. But if all side of your life, I am not sure because my page is about
Yeah.
styling, so I try to focus on
Yeah,
that.
100%. That's a very interesting perspective because I feel like a lot of the reason why a lot of people blow up on TikTok or go viral is because they're constantly sharing like very deep and vulnerable parts of their life. I'm not comfortable doing that. As you can see on my page, I keep it very professional.
Yeah.
I keep it like, I do like
Mhm.
mention my passions or like political issues that I'm passionate about or, big accomplishments. And I thank my audience for their support on my ebook, for example. I do try to connect as in as many ways as I can, but definitely I feel like having a professional public persona goes a long way because um, then you're not obligated to share like when you got married or what problems you're having
Exactly.
in your marriage or but I mean you're right, that
Yeah.
is to each to their own. But what I found that most successful influencers are doing is they kind of keep their um, private life private, and whatever they can share to relate to their audience, that's what they do. So it's good to hear that from you. And just based on that, as you mentioned, like establishing a strong connection with your audience is very very crucial because that's how they relate to you, that's how they take your recommendations and buy from you or whatever, like buy your
Exactly.
recommendations or
Yeah.
your style tips. Could you share some strategies that you use to engage with your followers and build like a community that you have?
I try to like respond to as many comments or DMs as
Mm-hmm.
possible, like whatever request I'm receiving. Stories, I try to post stories where I'm trying to find out my audience, what they are looking for, what kind of content they want from
Yeah.
me. Like suppose after few weeks, I try to do a questionnaire kind of or poll kind of story so that I know like what they are looking for. Are they looking for some fashion tips, what to buy, any shopping tips, any deals, something related to my
Yeah.
content? Try to help as much as they want to in terms of fashion or styling or beauty products or whatever. But that's how I am trying, to engage as much as possible. I think engagement is very important in this
100%.
field. uh, yeah, try to engage as much as possible with your audiences, I would say, because it is called social media for a
Yeah.
reason, right? You have to be social. So I think that that is very
Yeah,
important
no,
here.
I feel like that's a great, tip to end the podcast on because 100% that's everything. Like your audience is the reason why you're an influencer. If you can't influence your audience,
Exactly.
you are just someone who likes to take pictures at the end of the day. Like you have to have that connection, you have to have that communication, you have to be able to get a little bit vulnerable with them. If people are in your DMs, you could have 100 DMs, but when you respond to them or you respond to their comments, it makes your audience feel very, very validated, and try to respond to as many comments as you can on your post because they're commenting,
Exactly.
obviously to support you, but also to kind of get like some support back. They want to hear from you. They want to hear like what you thought of their comment or whatever. Like it builds a community, it builds kind of a friendship. I met Samina online on Instagram and it built a friendship among
Exactly.
us because we send each other stories or we chat online, and friendships can form, connections can form, and that's what happens. So it's definitely, it's very, very crucial, and I love hearing everything from you. Everything you said is exactly everything that I would say if I was in your position. And I feel like you put it beautifully. And definitely the journey towards balancing your personal life and your work isn't easy. But the tips that you've shared are definitely worth considering. If you're an influencer and you're planning on entering the industry and you're like, I'm a mom or I have a full time job and I can't do this, it definitely requires setting boundaries, as Samina mentioned, redefining what success means to you. So for you, if success is putting out a piece of creative content and that makes you feel satisfied, like Samina mentioned, that's it. Like that's what success is. It doesn't need to be this massive, like you want a billboard and being a celebrity type of success. It could just be like, I feel good. I made something nice, a nice outfit, and I put it out there and people like it too. That's it. Like it could be something as simple as that. And learning to value your well-being, as well as your families and your online presence as well, and building a community. So all of that was very, very beautifully said, and I'm so glad that you were able to bring this perspective today.
My pleasure. My pleasure, Michelle. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm glad that I'm able to give some
No,
tips.
I absolutely loved it, and you have a very like polished perspective on it. Like this is like what influencers say when they've been in the industry for like 5+ years, and the fact that you have already
Oh my God.
you've already like consumed so much knowledge and research about all these topics, and I'm sure like all of our audience listening in will definitely benefit from this. So I'm so glad to have you today as a guest to episode 2 of Influencers Unfiltered. Thank you, Samina, for joining us for such an insightful discussion. I'm Michelle Noor, your host, and remember, you're not alone in this journey. There's a lot of influencers that go through the same struggles, that have the same kind of problems, and
Yeah.
we just want to share tips, start the conversation on how to find a balance when it comes to those things. Stay tuned for more insights, strategies, and stories. Follow Samina. Her username is at Saminaiqbal on Instagram and on TikTok. She has amazing fashion content. Trust me, you will be inspired. Follow me at Michelle Noor as well. And until next time on Influencers Unfiltered, keep balancing and keep thriving.